Hey, WokeNFree Nation. Newsly is an audio app for iOS and Android. It picks up web articles about the most trending topics on the web at any given moment and reads them to you in a natural human voice.
For the first time in the history of the internet, the entire web becomes listenable. Browse articles from topics you choose and start playing. Stop scrolling, start listening.
You can follow any topic as specific as you like, from sports, science to Bitcoin, or even one of your favorite celebrities. It will find you the latest articles and read them to you aloud.
And they have podcasts as well. Explore trending podcasts from over 50 countries. Our podcast, WokeNFree, is there too.
Now let's get into the episode. Hi, it's Natasha.
And Khalil.
And we are the co-hosts of
WokeNFree.
Thank you for tuning in to our 302nd episode of WokeNFree. If you've been tuning in every week for WokeNFree Wednesday, you know that WokeNFree is all about being real and honest with each other and you. We talk about everything and anything important to us, you, the world, and nothing is off the table. This week, this question will be rocking your world. And the question is, should you be in the metaverse? Whoa. Mind blown. Absolutely. Yeah. So before we dive deep into discussing this, a couple of things to go over. First, have you gone to WokeNFree.com not only to listen to this episode, but to download it through the Podbean app? If not, please do so immediately, because with the app, you can put in your comments. We want to know, how do you feel about the metaverse? Are you currently there? Do you want to go there? Are you afraid of it? Everything in between, we want to hear all of that. So please make sure you do that. Now, if you listen to podcasts on a device where you can't put another app like the Podbean app on that device, a couple of tears will be shed. But the positive note, or the silver lining, is you can still go to WokeNFree.com and then you can go to the Listen tab to pick your platform of choice where you're going to follow and subscribe to WokeNFree. So you will find us on iTunes, TuneIn, Stitcher, Google Play. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, SoundCloud, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Pandora. It's a WokeNFree world where most podcasts are consumed. You will find this show. So make sure you do that. Also on WokeNFree.com, through the Podbean app, you'll be able to click to subscribe to follow the show. So we'd love that. And on social media, if you aren't already following us or subscribe to us, please do so on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, Pinterest, and LinkedIn at WokeNFree. And then lastly, if you have 90 seconds, which is like more of a statement, less of a question, we'd love for you to review the show. Why? Because then you can tell us if the show is feeding into your life. So again, best place to do that, go to WokeNFree.com, go on the Listen tab, and then pick your platform of choice where you will review the show. Kicking it to you, Khalil.
Then before we start this metaverse conversation, we probably should share some tidbits about ourselves. This week we're asking, would you rather eat more vegetables or fruit?
I will take fruit for 200, Alex.
Oh, double jeopardy.
Yes.
You got it. Or daily double. I forgot what it's called.
Daily double, yeah, gotcha, yeah.
So that's their answer?
Yeah, fruit. I struggle with vegetables, not because I don't. I mean, ironically, there was a time where I mostly was eating vegetables, and I think because of that, I don't know. It's just, I love sugar, and so fruit is just a wonderful complementary space to get more sugar in my life that doesn't feel as bad as other type of sugar that I like to eat. So I double down on that. But I mean, it depends on the vegetables. Like if the vegetables are like sauteed in butter and delicious spices, then like now we're talking.
You had to add the butter though.
Yeah, they're fabulous.
It can't just be sauteed without butter with just olive oil.
No, yeah, sauteed with the butter and
it has to be butter.
A little bit of like chili red peppers and a little bit of garlic salt and black pepper and oregano. Like now we're talking.
So you're good, but you had that butter in it, and then
that's why I said just give me the fruit then, because I'm not like, hey, here's a what's that called when you just give someone is it a bailey of broccoli, or like what's that, like a bushel of broccoli, I guess, right?
Yeah, it can be
bushel. Yeah, like I'm not your gal for that. I'm more like, here's a fruit salad. That sounds fabulous, and even that you can still have toppings like whipped cream or
So you just want something that's just tasting really great from the get-go.
It is, yeah. And also it's summertime, so in the summer I always think of like fruit more.
I mean, I think this question's interesting. If you think of it just from the standpoint of which do you prefer, then Yeah, I mean, I'll go with fruit because fruit is sweet, and vegetables, they can be very bland, and they're not, like you said, they're not just ready to go. The fruit, you don't need technically you don't need the toppings, but the fruit, the vegetables, though, you gotta, you really need some prep for vegetables to be kind of edible. So, I mean, just for preference, I would do the fruit, but I think I need to eat more vegetables because those have a lot of those nutrients.
And fiber in your diet. I mean,
fruit is good for you.
Needs to eat more vegetables, but what do you want to eat more of? Fruit.
Yeah, if we're just talking about preferences, then I'm gonna have to agree with you, and I'll go with the fruit. And if you think of preferences, I think I prefer to be in the metaverse than not be in the metaverse.
Okay.
If you had a choice, right?
Yeah.
But if I was in the metaverse, I mean, are there any pros and cons for actually being there, or is it just like existing in reality?
Great. So I think I would love to share some research and then actually have you chime in because we were actually there, and this is all like theoretical for me.
This is a theory for you.
But I'm excited about this episode because we're going to have people listening who are not currently in the metaverse. So this will be a really great starting point for the conversation for them.
But you should remember you have visited before a long time ago.
See, I don't even remember.
Because I had you forgot when I had my original headset that I had when I put my phone in. And then we tried it out.
When I was in the movie theater with that thing, that wasn't the metaverse, was that? No, that was PlayStation.
I mean, you might have. Did you do the movie theater experience? I thought you did Jurassic Park experience.
No, I've not done the Jurassic Park. No, I've done the thing where I had to wear the headset, I think, and I was in a movie theater, and then I ran around in a different. That's a different thing, right? That wasn't the metaverse, right?
No, we did I mean, I guess technically you didn't. I mean. Because you don't remember when I had my phone and I put it inside a headset and then we all tested it out. So didn't you I thought you did an experience.
You know what? You are right. Then I did do that. So that but how many years ago was that? Like that was
it's before this term was even coined technically. I mean, not coined, but I'll get into that later. But it was before this term's been used widely because now this is like the ubiquitous term is metaverse, but. Technically, we're talking about virtual reality.
Okay, so here's some pros. So endless possibilities, right? The metaverse is a virtual world where you could have limitless possibilities. You could be whoever you want to be. You could do whatever you want in theory, and explore places that are impossible in the real world. So true,
that's
not true? Yeah. Okay.
Well, to explore places that are impossible in the real world. Yeah, that's definitely true.
Okay. How about social interaction? Being in the metaverse allows you to interact with people from all over the world. You could make new friends, join communities, participate in events and activities.
What, you're asking if that's
if
it's possible to do it?
Yeah.
Or if it's a pro or a con?
Agree, and then also, I see these as pros, but if you disagree, you can definitely raise that and also share your thoughts on that.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's one of the big... pushes for this is to be the new form of social interaction. Yeah, it's like the second type of interaction besides us how we interact now through like texting or phone calls. Metaverse is like that next tier.
Okay. Yeah. Convenience. Being in the metaverse allows you to have a convenient way to access services and products. You could shop. You could attend class. You could work from the comfort of your own home. What do you think about that?
Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
I agree with that.
And then the immersive experience of it, being in the metaverse allows you to have a highly immersive experience that could be more engaging than the real world in some regards. You could experience things that are impossible, like we mentioned earlier, in the real world, such as flying or visiting other planets. So you get a kick out of that one.
I mean, I guess you could put it that way. Yeah, I mean...
You would define that as immersive?
Yeah, I mean, that visiting other planets, I'd do that, like, quote-unquote, because...
I thought you were going to say something like, I only do that on Saturdays.
No, but I'm saying... Like, I mean, there's but so much we can do. Even if you do like a Mars experience, it's not going to be like actually going to Mars because we don't have that much information on it to really. And then the headset, immersive in terms of visual immersiveness, but what does Mars smell like? Yeah. So I mean, you could
imagine. Do you think you will get there to that point?
Oh yeah, definitely. We'll get to the smells at least, and the sounds are getting there because they're offering like these 360-degree. Kind of audio for when you get in the metaverse. So I think the audio is getting close. But I'm just saying, if you go into another planet, it's kind of like a fake experience.
Yeah, it's it's an interpretation of what that experience
it's definitely artistic because we don't really know right now how it is. But you can do these experiences, and I guess for what it is now, it can be considered immersive, but, decades from now, people will look back like that was like you were playing like the original Pong game, for like video games.
Oh, yeah.
They'll look back and say,
not really.
Yeah, you were so you were so, it was in such of its infancy, but that was not immersiveness. It's
okay.
And I'll list some reasons why it's not as immersive as well, but.
So same thing, like if you were doing a game or participating in something where it was as if they were dropping you in the bottom of the ocean, it's not going to really be like, because you really just explode.
It's visual.
Right?
Well, I mean, they don't want to. So the metaverse isn't about causing harm to you.
Yeah.
So, they're not going to give you that kind of experience. Like, you can't feel what it's like to be eaten by a shark.
Or like I've seen stuff online where people will say, I'm not sure if it's really true or not, but like, doing games where it pretends that you die. Do they have things on the metaverse? Like in the metaverse
they have
where
things similar to that.
So
I've never tried that, though.
How can they really know what death truly feels like, looks like?
Yeah, it's not.
It's an interpretation.
It's just interpretation. It's an artistic experience.
Interesting.
It's like that.
Okay. Well, then let's go on to some projected cons. So, addiction. And being in the metaverse could be potentially addictive. It could lead to spending excessive amounts of time in the virtual world as opposed to the real world you live in. And it could negatively impact your real life relationships and responsibilities. Like, maybe you don't show up for work because you're too caught up.
I mean, it can happen, but that's extreme. I mean,
I don't
think it's polished enough to be honest.
Participants matter, because I feel like that might be more addictive for, say, someone in like junior high or high school.
Right now that's how it
is. Like a father of 3 children.
Because
responsibilities and stuff.
But the only reason is, I think, because of the immersiveness. It's not there yet. There's still. So it's kind of like, it's not like you just put it on and you're in it and you're just doing stuff. You might put it on. You might need an update. I mean, maybe your connection's not that great, so it's like, it's unstable, or it says, you have to make your boundary. There's like all these little things. It's not,
you're not going to just,
it's not like you just put it on and then you're in it and now you're in the verse and you're going to experience it. It's still, there's still like navigating it thing. There's still like things to it.
Logistics, okay.
Yeah, so you can get addicted to it, but it's, not like I don't think it's there yet.
Do you think it's more addictive than just regular video gaming? Like, turning on your because it's 5 and Xbox.
Because those things are easier to get into. It's almost like, I think the most addicting games are the phone games, because those are the really easiest to get into. Because you just pick, your phone's right there, right? And you just start playing it, and you can really just fall into it. But with the metaverse, it's a whole step of putting this headset on, making sure you have enough space for it, because it can be a space thing too, like depending on what kind of experience you're doing. Not all experiences can be had sitting down. Some you need to stand up, some you need to move around. So
when talking about this, actually it makes me wonder like what the addiction factor is comparatively to being in the metaverse versus social media, right? Like I would definitely admit that I would be addicted to social media, and that I don't know if there's been a day that maybe the only day I've never been on social media has been like when I've been out of the country, and I can't be on the internet or something, but that was many, many moons ago. And, so
I think again, it's because you can get on social media pretty easier, right? Yeah. You can get on within a few seconds. The metaverse, again, it's a little more than seconds. You got to put the headset on. Yeah. If it was something where you just tap your head and you're in it, then it would be super addicting, I think. Yeah, people just bumped on their head and now they're in the metaverse.
Just get it like sewn in or attached to your head, just walk around.
They just get the headset, glued on their head. And
RoboCop. Hello.
The lenses just come in front of your eyes when you tap your head. then I think it has a more chance of being something
human
addictive.
2.0 status.
Yeah, I think you need that though first, where it's just built into you, where it's attached.
Pleasant. Okay. Next potential con: isolation. So spending too much time in the metaverse could lead to isolation from your real world and negatively again impact your mental health, and even one could argue your relationships with others in your life.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely possible. As long as you are okay being, like, having this headset on for hours. I mean, that's the other thing.
Of time. Okay.
I don't think most people are comfortable having the headsets for more than, like, 3 hours at a time, really, to be honest. I mean, you
so
can
you feel
do
like
it.
the isolation's not that extreme in the person's day, then? You don't think it's like 8 hours they're in this?
Yeah, I think gaming, you can still be more isolated, and social media can be more isolating because you can just get on it and just
live there.
Yeah, and you can do that during other experiences. When you do the metaverse, that's what you're doing. There's not like
it's very captivating.
I'm having coffee and I'm in the metaverse. I mean, you can try, but it's very risky because
you might burn.
A lot of the headsets they do have a ability to see the world around you, but I mean, you're taking a risk because it's not as clear as just not having the headset
versus
on.
Like you technically could have coffee, talk to a friend, and be on Facebook, or Instagram, or
it's easy to kind of multitask while doing some of those other addictive things.
Fascinating,
but with the metaverse, it's you really got to dedicate your time into this.
Okay, another potential con: security. The metaverse could be a breeding ground for cyber criminals who could steal personal information or hack into virtual assets.
Yeah, I mean, security is going to be a risk just because you're a human, so that's always going to be there.
You're a human.
Yeah, like I don't know if koalas don't usually have security issues. You know, they all know what the dealio is. They understand what the assignment is, but humans, on the other hand, it's hard to say.
I bet you.
So see, they have it. They have top security there. Wherever they're living, like in their home.
Bears.
Yeah, exactly. I'm saying their security is not an issue for them. The name of they don't care about their personal information.
Day God Metaverse. Join the koala bears.
They probably have that already. Koala Club. They might. I don't know. They can. You can have any of that stuff.
Kitsy. Okay. And then another potential con would be real-world consequences. So again, the actions that you take in the metaverse could have real-world consequences, such as losing your job or getting into legal trouble. And it's important to be aware of the potential risks and the use of being in the metaverse responsibly.
I mean, I guess it can.
But similar could be said about social media,
but about any other tool or experience-based thing you use can do that.
I'm curious to hear your pros and cons now.
Okay, so some of this has overlap with what you said, but I'll start with the pros, just like you did. The first thing is it's a chance to make friends.
Hey,
so that's a nice positive, right?
And that's hard as an adult, so that's
cool. And I would say in the metaverse, what's the problem?
One avatar to another, so you don't know the real age, gender,
which is sometimes good though, because you can bond over kind of like informational stuff and not, and then you don't have your culture really getting in the way. Like, and people, it's harder for people to have these entire preconceived notions about you.
But I mean, people do have like humanoid looking. They're not like blue and green.
It depends which experience. It depends what you go, because the metaverse. That's the thing. The metaverse. It depends on what experience you choose. So they have an experience called like Horizon New Worlds, and you get to choose what your avatar looks like. I mean, they could be a robot or it could be a cowboy. I mean, it could be different stuff. You can wear a mask.
Could you be an elephant?
I'm not sure, to be honest. You might be able to.
I want to be an elephant,
but I'm sure. But just to say, there's definitely an experience where you can do that, where you can all be elephants. And of course, they have ones where you can all be gorillas, too.
Why are you bringing that up?
Because they have a game called Gorilla Tag in there, where it's like you move around with your arms.
But then is it similar to social media, where, how you told me there are certain games where, unfortunately, like some folks will say like explicit, racist, and very negative commentary.
But you know what's good about it? What's good about it is like I think the moderation scene's better though in the metaverse, to be honest. So the problem with the games things, I think it's just a bunch of kids on there and they're all just saying. So I mean, I don't want to call anything out, but technically it's Xbox Live. That's where all these kids go on and they're cursing and stuff. But it's notorious for that. You can look it up. It's one of the worst moderated places for people just going off the chain. But in the metaverse, it's good. It's moderated. So if someone starts to get harassing or bullying, they just get booted. And you can boot them from a whole space, so they go to some other space. That makes me very
nervous if you're talking about Gorilla, and then how people.
People can go crazy.
Horrid associations.
People can be, but I would say in the metaverse, that's what's interesting. It's actually more open than even just going on the internet like a chat room, and you don't know what you're going to experience. In the metaverse, it's a little more tailored, and you can tailor your experience by common interests too. So you can go to a chat room for people that only like to do sailing, something like that.
Or Twilight fans.
Or you can do that. Cool. Yeah, you can
so
bond over that.
I would definitely bond over.
And the trolls, they might try to get in there, but they're booted quickly. It's not even okay, good. You don't have to worry about them as much. So I think it's actually easier to make friends.
Pro, then.
And it's easier to talk to people there because when you have your avatar, you're just. I don't know. I guess people feel more free and
comfortable.
Yeah, to talk about things and to kind of be real, to be honest.
Okay.
And the next thing is you can explore topics like you've never before explored them. So you mentioned going to the planets. I mean, you can go on the moon and learn about craters, kind of thing. They can kind of point out, look how big this crater is. Can you cross this crater in one leap and bound?
Things to look forward to. Yes.
Yeah. Can you be Superman on the moon? You can do that.
Dear.
It's a topic.
Yep.
Next thing is you'll really like this is you could try out different fashion looks on your avatar. And tons of different fashion.
Talking with fabulous.
Yeah, you could try out different makeups, the hairstyles, a lot of different stuff.
I know that's right.
Yeah. And another thing you can do, and a lot of people are doing this, is it's a fun way to work out. You can really work up a sweat.
Just be real clear about this. So when you say fun way to work out, you're mentally or are you?
No, you're physically.
So someone has this headset on and they're actually doing jumping jacks or they're doing,
or they're
and they're able to. They're not. They don't get sick from that.
No, they don't. Yeah,
Very cool.
There's one of the most popular ones is called Beat Saber. People love that. Okay. So you have two swords and you move to the music to break these cubes.
Oh, fun!
And you have to dodge and you got to go side to side.
And you don't get nauseous or
no. It's okay. No. They made it so it's actually not as inducing. Now and again, so that's I mean, I guess I'll list it as a con, but technically, some people can't do any of these experiences. There's people that they can't put the headset on. They can't get used to that feeling of wearing the headset.
Yeah. And we all have different abilities.
And they're working on ways to get rid of that because I think the problem is people, you can't get a good look at your surroundings. So that kind of gives you an uneasiness in your stomach for some people, but they're working on ways to get rid of that. Mm-hmm. But, technically, there are people that just can't even use the headset right now. Yeah. Okay. And, it's being addressed. Yeah. So I don't think that's going to be a holdup for this whole new gateway into,
virtual reality.
Yeah. to VR. And the next thing is that you get access to a huge virtual screen. So instead of going to the movie theaters, you can go in your metaverse and look at a gigantor screen.
Nice.
This really big screen.
For current day films or movies that have been out for 3 months?
It depends. So it could be films that you own or certain films. I don't know if it's films that's out. I don't know if, the movie theaters have certain licensing agreements, but technically they could. It's just up to them. But if you own a movie, you can watch those movies in the metaverse, things like that. Because in the metaverse, a lot of the streaming apps are available too. So you'll get you'll have Netflix on there, Disney Plus. I think Paramount Plus is on there.
Nice.
So you got a couple of those, and then you can make your big screen and sit back and relax. Next thing is that you have access to multiple screens if you were going to use the metaverse to work in. Okay. So you can be in front of your computer screen and see your actual computer screen. And then you could put screens on the side, as many as you want.
When KJ was more younger, even, right?
Yeah, I was using that for a little bit. Yeah, just trying it out. And the next thing is you can have access to a Zen work environment. So you put your headset on and you choose this nice workspace, whatever you want, instead of whatever your office currently is, or if you don't have an office.
Get out of your reality to work better in virtual reality.
Yeah.
The irony of that.
Yeah, you get out of your reality.
You're like, I can't work in my actual home. I got to put on my headset.
It depends because people have different home setups. When you think about it, people have homes.
But that just seems really wild, though.
Imagine if you only have one bedroom.
Because you're still in your home, right?
Yeah.
That's so interesting.
But you could be in your bedroom, but you're actually in your office.
In the metaverse. Yeah, that's incredible. Yeah.
But it's kind of that's what the metaverse is about. It's it's an environment within a world. Yeah, world within a world. And the next thing is that you can have privacy when consuming content, so people can't get a peek at what you're viewing.
But let's put some context here. That's a pro, but is there a limitation of the type of content you can consume? So, for instance, how do I say this? Okay, pornography.
Of course, that's what people are going to think of when it's about what do you want to consume in private that you don't want other people to see.
That's the first thought that came to mind for me, because that's what I thought you were referring to.
Oh, I mean, it could be just... It could be music that you don't want people to know about, or music videos.
Let's get back to the potatoes here. So,
okay.
So are people consuming that type of content?
Oh yeah, because there's content made specifically for the metaverse.
Oh wow, so that's made its way into there.
Oh yeah, so there's stuff that you can only consume with
that.
How
do we go with this? So how are there?
So you know what I should say?
Working in the metaverse?
Well, I guess technically, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't doubt that we would need more research into that. I don't know how that. I mean, I'm not sure of the logistics of it. No, but how do you get paid though? Like, I'm not sure how they would be charging
Apple
for
Pay,
it. I mean, I don't know what they would do, because would they charge you through? I guess you would access an app, maybe that would have that. I guess
so. Yeah.
I say I'm not sure how that works.
Internet while you're in the.
Yeah, you could straight up just go on a browser.
So you can do your Zelle or Cash App or something, right? And then
you can do it that way. That's incredible. But you can also take your headset off, pay, and then get back in if that's what they want you to do. That's incredible. If you wanted to do all that, the thing is there's content that's created like specifically for VR, like. You know, it doesn't have to be porn either, just regular like content where you need the headset because you turn your head and then the film turns. So it's kind of like you're within the film. It's like a 360 degree film. Okay. So they're doing that same thing with porn. So you have that same kind of setup. So that's the kind of
explicit content.
Yeah, you can say that too. Explicit, whichever way you want to put it. But yeah, it's in there.
Wow. Okay. Now, is there an age limit for being on the in the metaverse, or no? Anyone? You could be 0 to
technically anybody can do it. Now, what it's recommended for, I don't know. That's a good question. I think that's up for grabs right now.
Interesting. Okay.
But yeah, there's no if the headset fits, you may wear it. That's what it is.
Nice reference there. Okay. Next.
Exactly. Next thing is that it's actually easy to consume content while lying on your back. To be very specific. So, like, when you go to bed, if you're on social media, you know, it's annoying. You got to hold your phone and you got to type, and you get fatigued by holding it. I mean, I know it's true though. I know the phone's light, but you don't want to hold the phone in the air for like 5 hours. But technically, on the metaverse, you just put the headset on, you lay back. And you can have little joysticks to move around, and you could browse the internet. It's not but it's easy though. You don't have to hold anything. You can just sit back and relax and enjoy the show.
If you're in bed with someone else, what they're thinking you're doing.
Oh, they're gonna think that you're having a fun time on social media. You're playing with joysticks to get around on the web.
I bet you are.
Yeah, because you get 2 joysticks to simulate each hand. And then it's just a way you can use your hand to navigate the metaverse as well. Even better. There's some of that. There's some hand tracking in there, so you got that as well. Exactly. And another thing is, I think it's a more interactive way to have meetings. You can actually pass people whiteboards. Well, first of all, you can go into a virtual space and everybody comes in there as an avatar. And they can see you making hand motions. Cool. That sounds really cool. It sounds cooler than it looks, though. Yeah, it's not there yet. It's a kind of like out of body experience. Like I said, but I think it's still better than regular meeting. Like lecturing. Yes, it's not up to that if you're walking around. That would be amazing. Yeah. But you'd have to be able to toot your horn too. Excuse you? As an elephant, you got to be able to, toot my horn. Yeah, as the elephant. That counts. If you can't do that, then you shouldn't be the elephant. If I could be an elephant and I could crip walk, now we're talking. Now you're talking about something too. That's very complex. And then also make cook food or something. You want to cook food on a meeting instead of in the meeting. Exactly. You want to be in the meeting cooking. Like we're talking, and I'm making fried chicken. Yeah. You shouldn't be able to do anything, right? It shouldn't be limited. It is limited. Or eating a fruit salad. Yeah. You're right, though. Technically, you should be able to. It's very, but that's what I'm saying. It's not there yet. It's not immersive enough where you could do that. Where you could just do anything you want, right? It's not like that. Or just make popcorn. Yeah, you can't do that. Not right now. Yet. Okay. Yeah, but you can still. I think it's a nice way to collaborate because you can pass around your whiteboard. I mean, there's a couple. You can see facial expressions. I mean, there's a couple things you can do in it. Zoom, yeah. No, but the problem with that is Zoom is kind of it's like that. That's not like real life. You don't have a thing. That's not. No, it's not. It's just.
Goodness.
Because think about it.
Life is really gone.
When you go to a meeting, you could turn your back on somebody while they're talking. You can't do that in Zoom.
What is this? Lion King? Okay, Mufasa.
Because in Zoom, you can just turn off your camera and something. In the Metaverse, you got to turn off your avatar.
Your back on someone.
Yeah, you have to turn your whole avatar off so people know you've disappeared, right? That's the thing with the Metaverse.
That is the phrase of the day. Zoom, it's not real life.
Yeah. It really isn't though. When you think about it, it's not.
I don't know what real life is.
Real life is when you're sitting in a room with somebody. Like if you're thinking actual real life, because what are you looking at? You're looking at colored dots on a screen for Zoom, and you're hearing simulated sounds by a speaker.
Within a dream. It's all up in the air.
I mean, we're not going into that. We're just talking. Yeah. We're imagining that real life is when you're in person with somebody else. What real life is. You gotta have a common ground.
Is this real life now?
Only me and you, but them listening to podcasts is not real life. That's just a simulated sound, right? We stored it.
Simulated sound.
Yeah, it's not us actually talking to them, right?
Life is getting too confusing. It's way too.
But that's what's hard about the metaverse. Again, that's not the real universe, or is it the real universe? We're not counting it as that. Yeah, but it's not, right? That's what we're thinking about. And the next thing is that you can live out virtual fantasies. So if you've seen Lord of the Rings, you can be Frodo if you want. You could drop the ring into the mountain. I mean, or to the volcano. You can do that kind of stuff. But I mean, it's not immersive. It doesn't feel or look just like it looks in the movie. It's a little stilted and stuff.
Yeah.
But it's getting there, right? It's being worked on, and eventually the experience will be just like what you see in the movies. It's not there yet. It's in its infancy. So. But I think that's a pro. The next thing is that I think 3D movies just work better in the metaverse. Just having the headset on, it's like 3D movies look a lot better.
Or it looks better. The experience is better. Okay.
It's better overall. It's better to experience it with the headset versus going into a theater and putting the glasses on. Like the effect doesn't look as great as it on the headset. It looks really good though, to be honest. And then the next thing is I think it increases your reflexes because you can play those workout games or you can just do experiences that can help you. Help challenge yourself.
Fascinating. So you can get more fit from being in the virtual reality.
Yeah, because it's keeping your. But they've already shown that from playing video games, your reflexes are faster than the average human.
Faster than the average bear. Love it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. The bear might be faster than the person.
Pleasant. Not with the headset on.
The bear with the headset is going to be much faster than a person, though. So it's not even a competition.
Exactly.
A bear in the metaverse. We haven't
mentioned if it's the black bear or the brown grizzly bear. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, the grizzly.
Or the good old panda bear. Which is not a bear.
But what about the good polar? Well, I think they are bears.
I know they are. Yeah.
They're just a very specific.
But they're so sweet. I love them. They're so cute.
Type. Yeah. The polar bears are something you got to think about though, because they're considered aquatic creatures actually, or marine animals.
We keep destroying their environments. They may eventually have to just go into the virtual reality.
They can't though. They have to live in water. They're considered marine mammals,
even with headset on.
Now that would be cool if there's a waterproof headset. Yeah, they'd be swimming around with it. They're going to swim with their headset on and having fun. Because that's what you do. You put them in a cold swimming pool.
Yeah, and just put that headset on.
And they have the headset and they swim in place. They're like, oh yeah, we're having fun. They're pretending to eat too. That's really good.
That's where we're heading in this world.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could do that and see what happens.
Cons.
The cons are, I've mentioned it before, but the headset fatigue because it's just tiring to have it on for too long, I think.
Yep.
And again, that's getting better though, so this may not be a con eventually, but right now it's an issue. The next thing is technically there's a need to purchase a fairly expensive device. It's not free, right, to get into the metaverse.
So when you say expensive, are you saying is it like $500 or more?
So
less?
The minimum bar is probably about $200 for garbage devices, but you really need to spend like $300.
Subpar.
Okay, but I mean, yeah, really, you got to spend $300. I mean, I guess, $300 is the actual entry point. That for just a decent headset that'll give you most of the experiences.
Okay,
$300, but they go up to next year. You'll be able to get one from Apple for $3,500. So.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, there's different ranges of pricing.
Nice range there. Okay.
Yeah, that's just to give you an idea. So, but that is a cost though. $300 is not.
Yeah, it is.
It's not like something to snuff at.
That's definitely not $5.
And it's a very tailored device. It's a little, at least your smartphone, it may be expensive, but you can do a lot. You can do banking on it, right? I mean, the headset, you don't really need it, right? It's an accessory.
Just for
It's an accessory. It's not so essential. Okay. The next thing is it's not great for group settings, I think, the headset, because the experience is a solo experience.
And that might just be great for those people who do it in group settings.
Oh, if you want to get out of the group.
Right? Like someone's going to Thanksgiving.
You just put your headset on and while people
hardly
around
stand everyone there. I would do well, actually.
I don't know if people will let you continue your experience, though. They might talk to you and bother you.
You can do your sword thing and say,
and hit them by mistake. I mean,
go into a
because you're going to be, you could say, I guess that.
I'm sorry, I'm in my headset. Happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah, you could.
And it just goes sword away.
Exactly, you could do that. Yeah, you can go and say you have to do an experience, or it's time to do your workout. So
exactly.
You're busy. Like you can't do Thanksgiving today. You're doing your workout. You can do that.
Totally something I would say.
Have to work out, guys. So
absolutely.
See you later.
Time to go. Oh yeah, see, I go walking. I can just walk with that.
It's going to get me. There's a con that comes with that, but I'll bring that up later. It's so I mean, I did mention that you can meet friends, and it's.
Mm-hmm. I could go walking. I could go in walk groups and stuff.
Yeah, you could, but the next con is a possibility. You can never get away from it fully. Is that you could meet a bully though, like in the time before moderated boots
from the here and now in life.
Exactly, but it's a real con though. You don't want to be bullied when you're trying to enjoy yourself.
Virtual real.
Yeah.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
But it definitely can happen.
Okay.
The next thing is that this deals with you walking. There's actually no perfect way of moving around in the metaverse when you think about it.
Well, you could stand walk, right? You know that, like, kind of like you're pretending to walk, but you're still, like, stationary. You can still do that, right?
You can do that, but you're not going to go anywhere within the headset. So that could actually cause you can get a headache from that because you're walking in real life, but your avatar is not doing anything. Okay. So, here's the thing. So there's different ways that they deal with this. So some experiences allow you to walk, but there's a problem though. Just think about it. What about when I get to the wall in my room? What happens?
Sounds like a you issue, yeah.
No, it's a metaverse issue. So what happens is at some point you're gonna have to use your controller or something to teleport yourself.
Okay, Khalil.
In the metaverse, not in real life.
Okay, thank you for
I knew you were thinking the wrong way. I knew you were thinking about that. But it's considered teleportation within the universe and metaverse. This is not Star Trek. Not yet. We're not up to that point. Because that brings up a whole bunch of issues.
There's going to be a point where you're going to have to teleport.
Within the metaverse, yes. I knew you would take that one. You have to take it the wrong way.
That is everything. So I think you've sealed the deal. I'm absolutely getting the metaverse.
Yeah,
to arrive at the point of teleportation.
Yeah, it happens more often than you think.
I bet it does.
Once you get in it, you see though. Teleporting could be a real pain. I mean, it's something it's a necessary evil. It's a necessary evil.
Some might say that's a reality in any world.
Yeah.
Yes.
So in terms of this, what they have is, what they have now for most people, you're going to use your controller to move yourself around in the metaverse. Like if you get stuck somewhere, you can point, I need to go over there. So you'll point yourself to there. But there's also devices that I think they're not really workable right now, but you can actually walk in place on these devices and it'll move your avatar. But to me, they're very clunky. They take up a lot of space. You have to wear special shoes. It's not there yet.
Your moon shoes.
It is, yeah. It looks like moon shoes. It's basically like you strap soap to your feet and then you slide around.
That's smart.
Yeah, it is not elegant solution at all.
Okay, so this is not a device for toddlers.
No, it is because if you're in the metaverse, you don't have to have a mobile experience. You can just sit in your chair and you can teleport everywhere.
Okay.
So that it's what you want to do.
The babies can have fun.
Okay. Yeah, you don't have to be.
Oh goodness! Is there a Teletubbies
moving
type of situation in the metaverse?
I would think so.
Toddlers would love that. That's
I would think you'd have that. Besides,
and Coco Melon and
besides streaming just all the content that you have right now,
children. Oh,
I think there might be a tailored experience for that.
That actually might seem horrifying for someone like myself. Yeah,
probably
horrifying. Okay.
The next thing is that the battery of the headset doesn't last forever, so you either have to tether to some power source or you got to buy a swappable battery
pack. So you have
pack.
a headset on and it's plugged in charging?
Yeah. Well, that's
so you
what you have
literally
to think.
become a real world battery. Like,
well, there's some headsets that have to be plugged in. They don't have they have to be plugged into a PC actually because they need power. They don't.
So their
they're
head
not
is
self.
cocked to the side.
No,
okay.
It's even like for the PlayStation. It's you have a one wire that it comes out of the PlayStation. It goes into the headset.
Okay.
But they have solutions for it. It's like they have these cable runners that you attach to your ceiling, and it's the people have thought of elaborate things.
Runners.
Yeah, if you get into it, there's a whole world of things to buy for your headset.
Really interesting.
That's why it's best to get a standalone headset if you're new to this. I would say don't jump into the ones where you need to be tethered because you're always tethered and you got to figure out how not to run into the cable. Don't do that. But just get the wireless ones. And the only thing you can think about is buying like a swappable battery pack system.
Okay.
So you can do that. But again, the battery doesn't last forever. So you're going to have to think about that. And you mentioned it earlier just about the metaverse, but there's privacy concerns by logging into this. We don't really know what's happening with data.
Okay.
Right?
All right. Well, with that, what comes next then, I guess, with talking about this?
Are we talking about just privacy issues? Are there any other concerns with people joining the metaverse?
Well, on bernardmar.com, they definitely, number one with the bullet was privacy issues, so we won't rehash that. But then they mentioned that protecting children could be an issue with this, and I mentioned this as well, because it seems so new. I think, with new things, people get very concerned around how children are going to fold into this. And, to your point, like, what is maybe the appropriate age for virtual reality headsets and joining Metaverse? So
you know what I didn't state, but, we can't go through it because you can have a whole episode on that. But each headset has different abilities, right? So some of the headsets have abilities to actually view what the user is seeing. Like on a computer screen. So let's say you give it to your kid. You can watch them and you can see everything they're actually doing.
Helicopter it. Okay,
yeah,
cool.
You can watch everything that's going through that headset on a computer screen if you wanted
most
to.
Most teenagers probably wouldn't want that one. Yeah.
No, but I mean, it's an obvious thing. It's not like you can eavesdrop. At least I don't know. Maybe you can do it, but I want to know how you do it. I think you have to particularly, you have to go out of your way to make, not hack, but you got to actually press a button and it says, all right, you're streaming now to whatever computer you want. Okay. It's not like something so subtle that they wouldn't notice. They would know that they're being watched. It's not, at least right now. I mean, there may be ways to drop in on people without knowing, but either way, you can monitor what someone's doing on the headset. Well,
outside of privacy concerns, and again, children and how children would use it and adapt to it, another concern could be health concerns. You mentioned this already. Not all people have the same experience when they put on these headsets, and some of them are feeling more physical complications, but then also there could be the raised awareness around like mental health concerns, because again, when we do new things, that means our brain has to interpret what we're doing, and are all of our brains going to operate and react to the things the same way? No. And for some people, this could cause people to have some bad emotional feelings, or maybe, to your point, they engage with a bully, and then that creates more emotional harm. So there's some health concerns that could be raised by this. Access and inequality, you mentioned this as well. This is definitely not $5.
Yeah.
So, and even for some people, $5 is too much. So in this world and in this country, is this like, I don't want to say this for the elites, but like, is there a certain income bracket that this is only really serving that community, or will this at some point be accessible for folks of all different?
It's been like the pricing that I showed you. That's a democratized price anyway, because they had the first consumer headsets were like $2,000. They started at that.
So it has been dropping. So,
they've been dropping. So
at some point it will be more accessible.
And
that's cool.
It's going down.
All right. Nice. And then another raised concern is, as mentioned on the website, metaverse laws. So again, thinking, and we mentioned this as well.
Yeah.
Whenever it's anything new, right? Whenever we have anything new in our society, you always think about the pros and the fun, but then also the complications, and then also the criminalization and or legal ramifications of whatever is happening. So one has to think about what are the regulations, what are some of the laws, permissions, privacy concerns, right? All of that stuff. And then another raised thing, and I don't know how you'll feel about this, is desensitization, meaning if people keep immersing themselves in this virtual reality, does that disconnect them from the actual reality that we're a part of UI and hear it everyone in this world. And like, if you do things in that world, does it make you less connected to this world? So for instance, I don't know if this is possible, but say someone goes into the metaverse and they are just like, how do I say this?
A street pharmacist?
Oh my. I was thinking something more
else.
different. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I wasn't sure which way
maybe
you're
they're
going.
like going around and they're like, I don't know what.
They're flashing people?
Exactly. You read my mind, yes. So they're going around and they're exposing themselves.
Their virtual selves.
Their virtual selves, right?
Yeah.
And in a way that they would not go to do that
It's
in
really
real
funny.
life, though. Like,
yeah,
do they then go in real life and they feel like they don't really even care because they do this, a day.
So they become. So that's like the argument.
So like,
that's the argument that violent video games make people violent. I don't think studies have not shown that to be true.
If you have that inclination to go ahead and do that with yourself.
It's really funny.
That is like it's speaking to something else that's going on with you on the deep level.
So you wouldn't want to do that kind of thing.
Or they go into the metaverse and they burglarize people's rooms or homes. Does that then make them more likely to do that? In
See, what's cool about this is what's cool about the metaverse, though. Again, with not necessarily a law, but you can put in rules where people can't destroy your home. Like they can only view your home. So you'll have a virtual home, and people can view, and they can't do much. I mean, they can just look at you and they can talk, or you can even mute people's microphones. Like, it's kind of like that's what's cool about the metaverse. It's like you're in control. So even if a bully is here, they can be shut down really easy, or you can make it so they don't even have the tools to bully you. Compared to real life, there's much more freedom. So it's like in the metaverse, you can really lock stuff down where you experience what you want to experience. So that's what I think I like about it.
Is it in any way like you and I used to have fun? Flashing. We used to have a lot of fun on what is it called?
Halo 2?
No, yes, but the big world, little
big planet?
Yeah, remember how you go and you like do fun things? And you'd go to different little worlds and different things. Like, is it more fun than that? Because I thought that was like really a fun game to play and watch you play.
No, the experiences aren't that smooth yet. So I would say they're a little more disconnected.
So that game is much better than what you're saying you're experiencing in the metaverse.
Yeah, currently.
Wow, that's incredible. Okay.
I don't know.
Game is old. Isn't that game like...
Yeah, it's because I mean, the metaverse is a big undertaking, though. It's because it's a little bit... So with the metaverse, so let's say you jump in right now. What you're going to see is you're going to see people's faces. You're not going to see a body. You're going to see hands, usually, in the experience.
So it's like stick figures with faces? Oh, God!
Not stick figures.
That is worse, Michael.
You just see a dismembered head and hands.
No, doing the most.
But it doesn't look so realistic that it's crazy. But it's really funny looking right now, to be honest.
No, thank you.
So it's not like you see an avatar right now, like a complete avatar in a body.
No.
I mean, they can do that, but even if they show
more of that on Facebook. I mean, you can have an avatar with a...
Yeah, I mean, you can do that, but the problem with that is then all the metaverse can convey is hand motions, and some stuff can do face motions.
Horrifying.
It's limited, is what I'm saying, and the experiences are different. So yeah, there are some places that do that, but the biggest experiences are ones where you're just a disembodied head and hands.
No.
Those are the ones where you're going to find a lot of people in it.
Horrifying. Okay.
Now you're scared of it.
Yeah, that sounds...
But it's going to get better, though. It's going to get better.
No, because I'd wake up screaming. It's too much.
You don't have to do that experience. So there's different experiences, like I said.
Yeah, holler at me when I can be an elephant and I can dance.
Yeah,
that's what I want to do. And then the last raised concern in the article was identity hacking, which we spoke to already, around kind of privacy concerns and I guess people pretending to be someone, or I guess maybe trying to convince people they are someone else and then maybe taking information. But it sounds like, I don't know. I mean,
just to go back on what you said, though, I mean, there may be experiences where you can be an elephant, though. I don't want to say that.
Anyone in the comments, if y'all have been in the metaverse, because I haven't done all the experiences. Please holler at your girl. I don't know, because that would be very. Because the
metaverse isn't like just a thing you jump in and it's all the same. You could think of the metaverse as different apps. It's not all.
So not all.
Yeah. So and all the apps are different.
Okay.
That's what I just want to put out there. So you may be able to have an experience where you're an elephant, and there are experiences where they do show a full body. Yeah. It's just that the movements aren't going to match like your legs or stuff. They don't have anything that shows your leg movements. Like it's just going to be a virtual you.
All right. Any other concerns? You feel like that's like the main one so far? I mean, I'm sure there are others, and people can put in the comments what they think. But
yeah, I mean, The only thing is, I mean, it's mentioned that was the number one thing is what are the companies doing with our data in terms of a privacy concern?
And speak to it. Like
ads, maybe.
Companies always want to know how they can better sell us, right? So the more data they have that speaks to what our avatar preferences are and what we like to do, you can then curate and design ads and marketing strategies in alignment with that.
But are they
how the data reads?
Are they selling that to our economic foes though?
Economic foes.
Are they doing?
And you're not even watching. So what is that called? The show? Oh gosh, my mind. With the dragons.
Oh, Jack Ryan. Oh, you said dragons though. No, I thought you were going to say something that had to do with us. With the House of Dragons, or are you talking about before that?
With the Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But economic foes. I mean, nice language choice there.
Yeah, I just had to.
And people know what you're talking about too. So.
Hopefully they do, at least coming from a U.S. point of view.
Yes.
Because that's the biggest concern, right?
Well, again, you'd have to look at the terms.
We don't know what's
use,
happening, right?
How
that data is being sold and repackaged, we're not sure, and it's still a concern because what if you just don't know what they're doing with it?
Yeah, absolutely. All right, well. There's been a lot already discussed. Is there anything you'd like to share regarding just some stats that would be good to know for the Metaverse? Yeah,
definitely. I found some interesting stats from social.com. The concept of a metaverse is actually derived from Neil Stephenson's epic novel Snow Crash, published in 1992.
Wow.
It wasn't actually coined by Mark Zuckerberg.
Cool.
Because he got a lot of credit for that, but actually...
This author did this.
Yeah, it was before his time. And the next thing is that the market cap of Web 2.0 metaverse companies is $14.8 trillion US.
What does that mean?
So that means these companies that have their hand in the metaverse apps or experiences, collectively those companies together are worth $14.8 trillion.
That's incredible.
That's just what the companies are worth, not what they're making, but those are what the companies invested in that. And then the market cap of Web 3.0 metaverse companies is less. It's $27.5 billion US.
Okay.
And just to clear it up, the key differences between Web 3.0 and then the Web 2.0 version of the internet we use today is Web 3.0 is supposed to be more decentralized than the current version of the web. So users of Web 3.0, you're going to have more control of your data instead of relying on social media giants like Facebook and Twitter to store your data. You actually handle that yourself, and it actually allows you to earn money through online content creation directly and sharing.
Who's on Web 3.0 and how are we counting?
Very few people.
Yeah,
it's in its infancy again.
Okay,
that's why it's only $27.5 billion worth of companies involved in it. But that's the next stage of web where we actually control our data directly, not because we were talking about privacy concerns. But imagine if people couldn't grasp onto that data. That data was, I don't even know. I mean, I don't know enough about Web 3.0 to speak on it, but I'm not sure how you decentralize the data.
Well, once it's more accessible, then we'll definitely have to do an episode on that because that sounds very interesting.
Yeah, that in and of itself is a big thing. It's a huge thing for the internet. And then the last thing I thought was interesting was that Facebook, they spent more than $10 billion in 2021 on its Metaverse division.
And so are these people all fired now? Or?
That's about slow.
I didn't mean to put it like that, but I'm just saying,
actually a true statement.
So many
there's big layoffs. Yeah, they might be gone. Well, we don't want to say fired. We want to say axed.
Okay. No, you would want to say laid off or,
Well, you could say laid off, but that doesn't sound...
Not voluntary, not within their own volition.
But I don't want to say they were fired. They didn't do anything wrong.
Laid off then. They
didn't do anything wrong, but they don't work there, though. That's one thing to know.
They're no longer part of that sped.
They are no longer with Facebook.
Yeah. Gotcha. Okay, interesting. Well, I found on demandsage.com some metaverse stats that are from 2023. So, let's see. So, they say 36% of the metaverse market share is contributed by VR and AR technology. So, do you want to explain the difference between VR and AR?
Oh, yeah, because we didn't even discuss that. So, some of these headsets are strictly virtual reality, and that's where your whole experience is taking place within the headset. It's all on the screen that's within there. Augmented reality, on the other hand, it uses... They use cameras on the outside of the headset to basically look at your surroundings, and then they imprint virtual... images on the outside.
So a good way to think of it is like Pokemon Go. And people used to use their phones to see Pokemon in the wild, like in real life. So all that did is it looked at your surroundings and it made a virtual Pokemon appear like wherever you were pointing your camera at. So that's what AR does. That augmented reality is about. It takes your reality and like not photoshops, but imprints virtual
creature
aspect,
image,
virtual aspect on it. So there's a lot of movies that we see that in the augmented reality too. They show that as like the future, but it's a cool way to not be kind of have these solo experiences within the headset as well, because you see your whole surroundings. That's what augmented reality is about, and not all the headsets offer it, but it's more and more it's being implemented where you can do these experiences.
Okay. And then 45% of the metaverse revenue was generated in North America in 2022. So that speaks to accessibility that we spoke to earlier, which doesn't surprise me that, because we are such a wealthy nation, that this seemed like right up our alley for folks to majority be here, or a good amount of us be here to doing this. Around 74% of the adults in the U.S. have joined or will join the metaverse. So it seems like it's quite popular or plans to be quite popular. And then
I think so.
25% will spend 1 hour or more than that each day in the metaverse by 2027. So,
I agree with that, because I think by then the headsets will be a little more accessible and it won't be like there's a little clunkiness to it still. It's still kind of is not so perfect, but by 2027 I can see it being just really easy to get into.
Okay, and then this stat makes no sense to me. Maybe it'll make sense to you. 10.7 million players witnessed the live performance of Marshmello in a Fortnite concert. What does that mean?
Oh yeah, so that's interesting to think of that as the meta. Well, let's see. Well, no, all right, we're talking about Fortnite. So I don't know. To me, that can't really be the metaverse, because if you play a video game, are you in the metaverse? That doesn't really make sense to me. I think of the metaverse as a virtual reality headset kind of thing. So you
disagree with that stat being attached to
I think you can play Fortnite on your headset, but to say that's the metaverse, that's a stretch. That's like saying
they're saying that they watch this performance in a Fortnite concert.
Yeah, so what a Fortnite concert is you play Fortnite the game, but instead of going around building and shooting people, you go into the Fortnite world and you just watch somebody perform. So maybe is that
what they're suggesting, that people put on their headset and went into Fortnite to
but
then
that's
watch
not how
people
play?
I mean,
I didn't even know, I didn't even know that you can I didn't know you could experience Fortnite
any other way other than
with that set. I didn't know you can even do that.
I'm not sure. I'm just stating that. Okay. I don't know.
I could be wrong, but what I know is because they did another concert. I forgot. It was one of these other. There was another artist that performed first, and they had a ton of people come into Fortnite to watch the concert. But so Fortnite, if you don't know, it's a video game that's on basically any platform. It's on your phone. It's on all the systems. It's on PC. Okay. So you could play Fortnite and you'd watch a concert in that. But you didn't need a headset though to do it. So how is that the metaverse? So the question is, can you get in the metaverse without a headset? I mean, that's I don't know. I don't consider that a metaverse thing, because but technically, you know what's funny though? So with those experiences, there are experiences where they don't necessarily need to have a headset, but you can be in the metaverse and have an experience with them. So
maybe that's what they're speaking to.
So it's kind of like with the meetings, you can do a virtual meeting where some people are on their headsets and some people aren't. They're just on their computer. So maybe, I didn't know it was possible though. Yeah. So maybe it's possible to watch the Fortnite concert on your headset. I didn't know that, but maybe it is possible to.
I don't see why you can't.
Watched a performance. So. But I think of those, they should have said us that the majority of those players were probably on a mobile device though.
Interesting.
To be honest, because I think Fortnite has the biggest players on smartphones.
Oh, nice.
That's that's where that's how people were playing this. Yeah. But they also play on game systems, but.
Okay.
And that's the new thing.
Interesting. And then another stat, which I just think is always just so funny about newness in life, which is 77% of people think that metaverse can cause harm to reality. So.
That just sounds like a funny statement.
It does sound
I don't know what that means, right?
Yeah, this could cause harm.
Is there a tear in reality?
Yeah.
And now reality doesn't exist?
Now we're talking.
I don't know what that means. Could cause harm?
You had me at...
It's changing reality.
Point where we're going to have to teleport.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Once you get to the boundary, you have to teleport.
I bet we do.
It's just, it's a fact of life. When it comes to
I feel like I might have to teleport now. So we'll see where we end up. But with that, I think there is going to be an image that you can also look for more Metaverse statistics by Demand Sage. That'll be fun, and that we'll include that in the episode. And I think you know what comes next now.
Yes, we do. Here we go, yo. So what's the scenario? It's scenario time. Scenario 1. Vite wants to increase collaboration efficiency between his workers of an upstart social media company. Would it make sense for him to give all employees virtual reality headsets to facilitate better meetings?
Oh, interesting. So I would say that I would need to understand a little bit more statistics around understanding meeting facilitation within virtual reality. So if there are studies or information that speaks to people having better meetings through virtual reality, then absolutely. But as of right now, where I would sit, I would say it would seem more like a distraction and a way for people to not take the meeting very seriously and constantly be like, this isn't working. How do you get this? I can't see, kind of go into that kind of rhetoric. And so I would say that's a waste of time. Meetings overall tend to be less effective than people really think they are. And so adding another element could be like just throwing this all on its head and just making this not a good thing. So that's where my gut naturally goes. But if I would presented information that would say, nope, your meetings actually are facilitated much better through virtual reality, then I would say, yes, that would make for a sound decision as long as he could afford that for his business.
Well, yeah, I mean, of course, he has to definitely make sure that's a part of the
and that they're appropriate chargers budget. And they're all
make sure that's in the budget.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, of course you'll have charging and stuff. That I don't think that, but you definitely got to make sure you can afford that because this is not a $5 buy, right? There's a big buy-in for this. But that's interesting that you need more information before just saying
when
to go
do
with
I
it.
Not? Yeah. That's my vibe.
I mean, to me, this just sounds cool, so I just say do it because it
sounds cool.
Like it sounds good. I mean, I don't know if it might not be the right business choice.
That's the most millennial thing you've ever said in your entire life. We are millennials, but nonetheless, you don't usually rep your tribe.
Yeah, usually I try to stick to. Yes. I try to have more grounding, but to me, it just seems it's futuristic.
Sounds awesome.
It's like somebody says you can live in space, and you're going to say no to that. You're going to say why not? I can live in space.
I'll show you a picture of KJ. I say answer that question again.
Bring your whole family. If it says that again, you can do it. Everybody's living in space.
He's wearing a headset too, huh? Exactly.
Well, no, when you're living in space, you're really living there. You're not living in the virtual world in space. That's something different. We're not up to that point yet. When babies get into Metaverse, we're going to have implants. So that's something else. But these headsets, remember, I think it makes the experience more fun than just a normal meeting. And IT can take care of getting people straight in terms of, I can't hear you.
Sounds like a plan.
I have a bad connection. So
excellent.
To me, the headsets are cool. And what I'll say too, just to put it out there, I didn't make this up on my own. Actually, I saw a job posting where a company offered that to people.
I think I've seen that before too, actually.
Yeah, so I didn't make this up. That's why I was just wondering how you would sit on it.
Yeah, there's some people that are, about that cool vibe.
I think it's a perk though. I think people see that and be like, yeah, I want to work for a company that does this. But there's probably people that are also like, man, do I really want to work for a company that does this? So it goes both ways. But if you're a tech company doing this, I think it makes sense, right?
I think people would expect something like that.
Yeah, so I can see it making sense there.
For Christmas gifts, really. Like that and swag. Like, let's get it.
But if you're an agriculture company, I mean, are
probably
they going to go
not.
They might say maybe not.
Send seedlings instead.
Exactly. There you go. You could do that. That really gets their goose going.
Gets their goose.
Yeah, they're like, wow, really exciting stuff.
Tomato seedlings.
Yeah. What genus did you send?
Hey, there you go.
You're gonna get really happy about that. Scenario 2. Malala is strictly against video games. She thinks they are a waste of time and add no value to people's lives. Her friend is upgrading one of her VR headsets to the Apple Vision Pro next year, so she offered to give it to Malala. Malala doesn't want to use it, though, because she thinks the VR headset is just a video game console. Is Malala correct in her assertion?
No, Malala sounds like a person who probably has never tried VR and is just making assumptions around this. And actually, she should accept the headset and find out how much she can sell it for. And say, I think you had
that's to be monetary gain.
That keeps giving.
Oh, man.
Yes, that's what I think Malala should do. Otherwise, it's going to sit in a box and just collect dust, and that doesn't make sense.
So she can't just step outside her brain and try out this headset?
Do you really think this fictional person's willing to do this?
You can force her for a fee to do it.
Or she could just take it and sell it. If
someone gives her $100, she might try it.
Sure.
But you just want her to sell it.
Yes.
See, I would say that she's wrong in her assertion. It's not true because we talk about all the different uses of the headset.
The only
but
thing
she's got to try
about is like, and I don't know if this might need to be another episode, but like the medical connection. So because there are more robotics involved in surgeries now. So what is the connection between virtual reality and like surgeries or like medical practice? Like,
well, doctors are using the headsets to go in there and perform surgeries for certain surgeries.
So that's interesting. Yeah,
and then, we didn't go into AR, but AR is being used to help with like general repairs and stuff as well. So somebody will be looking, I'll just make it simple, like a plumber, if he goes in, he might not know which pipes he needs. He can put the headset on and it says, hey, you need this angle and that angle. Okay. And he can kind of design what kind of tubing he's going to build before actually building it. So you can do that with AR. But
there's value to tech.
There's different things you can do.
It makes people nervous because it's so new and it's...
everything's... the car was nerve-wracking for people with their horses,
like, why can't we just use our horse?
Because the horse was so easy. You didn't have to fill it up with gas. You just bring the hay with you.
But we don't need to herd horses forever, right? Like,
there's a lot of problem with horses, yeah. But that's the thing. The new tech comes and people...
they think 77% of them think it's going to cause harm.
But to reality itself,
exactly.
They've been watching
reality itself.
watching too much just like metaverse stuff,
Twilight.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But that's just funny to me. I don't know. You can take that in too many ways. It's going to harm reality.
Shameful.
Different to me. Scenario 3. Chinocha doesn't own a VR headset, but was invited to test out a beta version that requires the users to implant a computer chip in their head or neck to use. In exchange, the first 1,000 users will be able to keep the VR headset for free. Should he agree to the test?
Are you joking?
The scenario is not based off of, it may not be based off of a real life thing, not purposely. But this is what's on offer, though. It's a great question. This may come up in the future.
The answer is no. No, you cannot implant your computer chip in my head or neck
for a free headset.
For free. What do you take me for?
Come on, the headset could be worth $10,000.
It could be worth $10 billion.
Oh wow! So what's the price? There's no price the headset's worth that you would take for, because you can sell it too. But then you could sell the headset.
And what happens to you?
You can have the chip removed when you sell the headset.
I bet you can.
And then repurchase the
headset. And what if having that chip turns you into a serial killer? Was that worth it?
You think that it's that advanced that it's able to control you now? So
All
now you're watching too many sci-fi movies.
Life can be lifing, and you do not want to openly agree to surgery for a free headset.
Did you put it like that? Like
because
surgery?
That is the reality you're suggesting to people.
That's so sad to put it that way.
Would you? And what's your answer?
That's a great question. My answer would be, it depends on how much that VR headset is worth, right? If it was worth $1 million, you better do that in a heartbeat. Like, that's crazy not to me.
Telling people to
worth
sell their soul
$1 million, you better do it. That does not make sense.
It could be $10 trillion.
Oh boy, you're kidding. How many headsets can you get? Put in as many chips as you can.
Because it's not money; it's just the headset you're getting.
Yeah, but the headset might be able to be sold.
Who's gonna buy something that's $10 billion?
There's more than you would think. There's the dark web where there's a lot of people willing to pay a pretty penny for that.
So now you have a chip in your body, and now you're entering the dark web.
Yeah. You get in there, and then you sell it, and then you can, like I said, you can get that chip removed if you want.
You're assuming that it's possible to remove it.
Yes, it has to be. If they put it in, they go take it out. Of course, anything's possible, right?
Sure.
See? Yes, finally. Nailed it.
Sure.
I nailed it. Anything's possible, so there you go.
Anything's possible indeed.
So that's why I'd say the only way I wouldn't do it is if the headset was worth under, like, $50,000, then I wouldn't do it.
I hope
but $50K and above, then do it.
experimenters listening to our episodes because they will come for you, Khalil.
No,
and you will wonder what happened to you.
There's been a couple companies talking about embedding a chip into you for authentication. So I would never do any of those things. That to me is, but for this headset.
So they can sign into their bank easier? You know what?
They're trying to make it so there's no way to hack them.
What?
They want to make themselves unhackable.
I would rather take a tattoo than I would embedded chips in my body.
Well, yeah, the tattoo is easier to get rid of. The chip is going to be a little harder.
Tattoo, let's go.
And I would do, now,
if that was your scenario, would you do a tattoo in exchange for the headset? That I most likely would be more inclined to do.
Yeah, the tattoo's not going to do as much.
No, thank you.
But, we could get there, but I don't think the tattoo will be enough. I think you're going to need the chip or else. So, for us to get to that next level, I think at some point we are going to need...
I don't need to get to where we're going.
Maybe it doesn't have to be implanted, but it's going to have to draw some blood, though.
Smart.
It's going to have to be stapled onto your neck.
Excellent. Yep. Your response is laughter.
Yeah, because it'll be painful, but it'll be fun, though, once you get past that first part.
I don't know where you're going, but I'm not going there.
People get vaccines. You don't want to get stabbed by a chip that'll enhance your VR experience.
What do you think my answer is?
See, that's so wrong.
Exactly.
If you're willing to have your blood drawn, you should be willing to have a chip it sits on the outside of you.
I'm willing to give plasma. I'm willing to give blood to help other people.
Yeah.
I am not willing to have a chip suck blood out of me for kicks and giggles. So that's where I end on that.
Just to attach it to you. Just no,
thank you. I don't want to get fired.
So we know we don't.
Thank you and goodbye.
You don't want it under your skin for sure, and even on the outside, you don't want it. Is what you're saying?
I thank you and goodbye.
Wow.
Yeah. No.
Man, even on the outside, because the outside it can be easily removed.
Would you like it? What if it was on the middle of your forehead?
As long as it doesn't leave scars, then that's fine. But if it leaves scars, it has to go on the back of the neck or something.
What if it made noise like that fruit, that plant from Harry Potter, and it was squealing? What if it was like that?
This was supposed to enhance your VR experience, so I'm not sure why you bought a torture device.
Okay.
That'd be, you gotta ask yourself a different question.
What if they wanted to play a different realm?
Yeah, you could do
the
that.
Harry Potter realm.
Well, would you do it for Harry Potter?
I love Harry Potter, but I love myself more.
That you wouldn't get a chip on you, even if it's on the outside.
Thank you and goodbye.
I can't believe you would put it on the outside.
Thank you and goodbye.
You can have it on the outside, less invasive, and you still want to do that. To me, there's no problem with that.
Thank you and goodbye.
Oh, here's a good question. You're willing to wear glasses, but you're not willing to put a chip on you.
Are my glasses sucking the blood out of my eyes?
All right, what if they had a way to attach it to you with some sort of magnets? You just got to drink this fluid so that it'll attach to you.
Why are you trying to harm me?
No, because I'm trying to think of a real way that it could attach to you without...
Try a different person. How about that?
Oh, what if it's just what if it's a chain then? It's something that you have to wear on you at all times, but you can take it off technically, and it's not...
Is there blood drawn?
No.
Yeah, no, then
you go for it. Yeah. Okay, as long as it's not...
I am not exposing myself to
as long as
additional harm unnecessarily.
You don't want a human-to-blood interface or a blood interface with the system.
No, thank you. Yeah, no.
As long as it doesn't have that, you'd be okay, though. Yeah, so if it's like an accessory, a jewelry or something,
sure, it sounds fabulous. And then we can bejewel it.
Would you do it with... Oh, but you probably wouldn't do this, but this might be a thing, too. Would you do it with a contact?
No, I can't touch my eyes as they stand.
Yeah, see, because they're trying to do that as well. Make contacts.
Good for them. I guess that's thank you and goodbye.
Again, yeah, contacts doesn't work for you either. No.
And thankfully, we are at that time again. It's coming to the end of our 302nd episode of WokeNFree. Quite the episode discussing should you be in the metaverse. And so with that, Khalil, what should folks do now?
What they should do now is come back next week for the new WokeNFree Wednesday episode. Make sure you follow us on social media to follow along the conversation, and make sure you tune in next week for WokeNFree Wednesday to join the conversation at WokeNFree.com.
Wonderful. Now, if you listening to this episode say, you know what, they need to talk about XYZ, we want to hear all about it. Best way to hit us up is on our Contact Us page at WokeNFree.com. That's WokenFree.com. And for social media, again, we'd love for you to follow our conversations and our content on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, Pinterest, and LinkedIn at WokenFree. And all sponsorship or collaboration queries, best place, again, to hit us up is on our Contact Us page at WokenFree.com.
If you didn't already subscribe, please do share the episode and make sure you come back to join the conversation every Wednesday for WokeNFree Wednesdays. Remember, WokeNFree is more than a podcast. It is a way of life. Till next time.